So I work for Vodafone Group in the area of IoT standards. I've been one of the initiators of the LwM2M work in the Open Mobile Alliance some time ago. Well, obviously Vodafone has a large footprint. The reason I'm showing this is that Vodafone not only has a large footprint, but also has many customers in different verticals. And that's one of the reasons why Vodafone is very interested in moving a bit against the fragmentation in the M2M industry and IoT technologies and trying to make use of some key standards. And that's why Vodafone has been part also of developing the LwM2M standard in Norway. But I guess most of you are familiar, so I will not give a long introduction of the standard. But LwM2M is not only for device management, but of course for asset management, as the object model is extendable. It has been designed with the goals of lowering the demands of the footprint for CPU, for memory, making it possible to build more cheaper devices, but also increasing the efficiency, reducing the bandwidth need, power consumption, and also, of course, having a standard which enables service providers to have one service with which they can control mass of devices from different vendors. And finally, one goal was to have it being developed in a way that is more developer-friendly than previous standards like LwM used to be. So, as you all know, probably, LwM uses co-op over UDP and co-op over SMS. And the most important part of the most important addition to co-op is the object model, which groups the functionality into objects. And each object consists of several sources, which can be read, they can be modified, they can be executed. And the first set of objects which has been defined as part of the LwM2M 1.0 work in OMA is the following list, mainly objects to deal with the configuration of the security. Then we have the server credentials in the object with the ID number 1. You have the access control, because you can also have a model where you have a LwM client accessed by several servers, so each server can only do certain things. This is described and managed with the access control object. You have the device object, which is information related to manufacturer and further device details, free memory space, and other things. Connectivity monitoring. We have no connectivity management in this first release. This is now being worked on. Firmware update, simple firmware update function to update the whole firmware image. And the location object provide the location of the device and connectivity statistics like data volume sent and received. So this was the first set. And then the IPSO Alliance moved on, and they developed a couple of LwM2M objects mainly related to smart city applications that can also be used, of course, in different contexts, like digital analog, input, output, several kinds of sensor objects, an actuator object, load control, light control, power control. And I don't know if this is the latest list, so we might have worked on further objects in the meantime. So status today, LwM2M 1.0 has been approved in December last year. Since then, there's some minor bug fixing ongoing. Not many bugs have been discovered so far, which is weird, but maybe it's because the standards guys did a good job this time. And we have added a resource type object link recently. This allows you to link objects together. So you can have the object which has a resource which leads to another object. which allows you to enable a bit more complex data structure. So far the data structure was only flat, and now you can have slightly more data structure. This is used in the new connectivity management object, which I will explain later on. And finally, there's still a discussion ongoing about SMS security in LwM2M 1.0 as a mechanism which is based on ETSI standard called, as a number 102.225, secure packet structure, which has been used to secure SMS delivery and sending to and from a SIM. And this is a very live and efficient mechanism, and we thought it would fit very well into the lightweight context of this standard. So it has been adapted as part of 1.0. Right now, a new proposal is also presented by companies, DTLS over SMS, which is being worked on by the IoT. And now the discussion is still not finished. Hopefully we will have a final decision next week at the Shanghai meeting, as a program in Shanghai, whether we have two alternatives for SMS security, or whether we will make a choice of having one of the two. Finally, there's a proposal to add an object versioning indicator or attribute to objects. At the moment, if you want to add new optional resources to objects, you can do that. It's no problem, because the server can discover what kind of object and resources are supported by a client. But if you want to add mandatory resources to an object, you cannot do that. You have to create a new object. And now with this versioning indicator, you can have a version 1 of the device object, and then you add a couple of more resources, maybe mandatory resources. You have a version 2 of the device object. It's a bit disputed. I originally was not so much in favor of this idea. It has some benefits, but it has some drawbacks. But nevertheless, it will not impact existing implementations. That's definitely the goal. There's no impact on any existing implementations. How much time do I have?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes? Okay. And I have to speak up. So the LwM2M evolution is now ongoing in OMA with what's going beyond 1.0, LwM2M 1.0. Connectivity management work is going to be finalized hopefully in November, December this year for closing the gap of configuration management, connectivity management for cellular connectivity and wireless LAN connectivity. But also you can also have a bearer selection mechanism. The server can tell the device which bearer it should select wireless LAN 2G, 3G, 4G. Software management is an enhancement of the existing firmware management object. It provides you with more complex or more sophisticated tools. For software management, the installation, activation, deactivation, of course, result in state reporting. This is a bit more, includes a bit more feature than the existing firmware management object. A simple log and byte object to log the device partially or completely, for example, in case it's stolen, to wipe the memory partially or completely. Device capability management, this work just started. It's mainly about activation and deactivation of device capabilities, like activating, deactivating certain interfaces, cameras, new modules, things like that. Also attached devices can be switched on and off. And then there's some work ongoing on the northbound interface from the server to the application side. This is done in conjunction with the LwM2M. At the moment it's focusing on the device management part of LwM2M, and the requirements have been just finalized, and now technical work will most likely start either in LwM2M or OMA. I think that hasn't been decided yet. And then next week we will also discuss a new work item coming up to better enable gateway functionality with LwM2M. No concrete ideas how this would look like have been presented yet. We will analyze use cases and analyze the gaps, how we can fulfill this with the existing LwM protocol. But most likely we would need a new object which would solve for the purpose of enabling gateway functionality. This is just an early thoughts on LwM 1.1. There's no work item yet, no work has been started yet, but there have been ideas around to add, in addition to UDP, also TCP support to LwM2M and TLS in addition to BTLS, align with security work in the IGF, add peer-to-peer support, not only client to server, but also for example, security camera can talk to the motion connector, and the motion connector can detector can control the camera turning on and off. Simple use case. A couple of more ideas are around. I've heard the idea of creating binding MQTT binding for LwM. Maybe also be a good idea to have this as a standard way. Tools. Always working on tools, for example, an object editor. So everybody can create his own new LwM objects, and the object editor allows you, it's a web tool, allows you to do it in a standardized, interoperable way, in the correct syntax and so on. And at the next step, you can then convert this new object into machine-readable code, like XML. In addition, always working on a client and server simulator, and also will also link to the existing Leisure project and the Bacana. And following two slides I just received this morning from OMA, giving more details about the developer toolkit, which will also include an enabler tutorial. The editor I mentioned already. The next slide. The second slide on this toolkit, a sandbox, which is then provided by the Eclipse Foundation, a lab kit, and some other things. So it's good to see that there's a good collaboration between the people who are doing the standards and the people who are actually implementing this technology. And pleased to see that. And obviously, there are also other means we can work together. One is the planned test event. Vodafone has offered to host this event. Originally, it was planned for December, but because there's an overlap with an existing LwM2M event in December, it has been moved. There's now some room issues. I hope it can be confirmed this week, but it will take place maybe the last week of January or maybe early February. It can be confirmed this week. And the idea is to have a 3-day testing event and also a half-day or 1-day joint workshop with the Eclipse Foundation, where OMA will present the developer tools, which are hopefully finished by then. At the moment, what I've shown before is mostly work in progress. They will be presented there, and also the Eclipse Foundation, of course, will present the related Eclipse projects.
What would be the way to find out more about this? Would it be through the Eclipse Foundation or
The workshop?
Yeah.
So what we're thinking of doing is at EclipseCon North America, having like an implementers workshop on the Monday. So Julian from Lecture, I've asked him to try and think about is can he put together kind of an agenda, that's kind of a one-day-long session on lightweight and implementing lightweight. So if you're interested in that, I'll introduce you. Do you know Julian?
Of course.
Yeah. So maybe reach out to Julian and.
So this will not be in Düsseldorf anymore?
Pardon me?
Will it not be in Düsseldorf anymore?
So it's two things, right? So there's sorry. Okay. So there's in Düsseldorf, we're thinking of doing something similar in Düsseldorf with the test workshop in conjunction with the test workshop. So and then we're also looking at in subseries of North America. So yeah.
So we'll find out more from Eclipse in both
Yeah.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 events, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the one in March already kind of confirmed?
It's not confirmed.
Yeah, definitely. If you have questions on this event, you can contact me personally. I can provide you information and send you an invitation. Last slide, actually. There's a current opportunity to bring feedback into a standard. The standard has been developed by a small focus group of industry companies. I see there's some overlap, but there's also a lot of companies here which are not taking part in standards development. But it would be very beneficial if you could report any bugs, any issues, any functional gaps, any missing features. For example, protocol enhancements or new objects, if you could bring them to a standards process, to OMA. Well, of course, OMA would be happy if they become a member. I think they're thinking about lowering membership fees again next year. But of course, you can also contact myself if there's anything you want to discuss on this exciting standard. Thank you.
Good, thank you.